Hi, in this video we're going to study Chapter 2, Decisions and Processes, Value-Driven Businesses. Chapter 2 Overview, Section 2.1, Decision Support Systems, Making Organizational Business Decisions, Measuring Organizational Business Decisions, Using MIS to make business decisions and using AI as well. Section 2.2, Business Processes, Managing Business Processes and using MIS to improve business processes. Section 2.1, Learning Outcomes. Explain the importance of decision-making for managers at each of the three primary organizational levels, along with associated decision characteristics. Number 2, define critical success factors and key performance indicators, and explain how managers use them to measure the success of MIS projects. Number 3, classify the different operational, managerial, and strategic support systems and explain how managers can use them to make decisions and gain competitive advantage. Number 4, describe artificial intelligence and identify its main types. Managerial decision-making challenges. Managers need to analyze large amounts of information. They must also make decisions quickly. And managers must apply sophisticated analysis techniques such as Porter strategies or forecasting to make strategic decisions. And the decision-making process, it includes of 6 steps. Number 1, problem identification, which is what exactly is the problem. Number 2, data collection, obtaining information. Number 3, solution generation. We identify alternatives of a solution. Solution test is number 4, weigh the evidence. Number 5, solution selection, choose among alternative solutions. And number 6, solution implementation. Number 6 is the step where we take action. Organizational levels. There are 3 organizational levels: strategic, managerial, and operational. Operational are day-to-day operations and they are very structured. Managerial's somewhat structured and strategic is not structured. Operational. Employees develop, control, and maintain core business activities required to run the day-to-day operations. Affects how the firm is run from day to day. هي structured decisions, يعني situations where established processes offer potential solutions. Managerial. Employees evaluate company operations to identify, adapt to, and leverage change. These concern how the organizations should achieve the goal and goals and objectives set by its strategy. Semi-structured decisions and managerial occur in situations in which a few established processes help to evaluate potential solutions, but not enough to lead to a defined recommended decision. Strategic is the last operational system. Strategic level, managers develop overall strategies, goals, and objectives. Involve higher level of issues concerned with an overall direction of the organization. Its unstructured decisions occurs in situations in which no procedures or rules exist to guide decision makers towards the correct choice. عندنا the following keywords: project هي المشروع، matrix هي مقياس الأعمال، والmarket share هي الحصة السوقية. الproject هي temporary activity a company undertakes to create a unique product, service, or result. Matrix, measurements that evaluate results to determine whether a project is meeting its goals. Market share, the proportion of the market that a firm captures. Critical success factors هي element necessary for a project to succeed. Crucial steps companies make to achieve their goals and objectives and element strategies. مثل creating high quality products, retain competitive advantage, reduce product cost, increase customer satisfaction, and hire and retain the best professionals. Key performance indicators, on the other hand, هو performance measurements. يعني quantifiable matrix a company uses to evaluate progress towards critical success factors. مثل turnover rates of employees, number of product returns, number of new customers, average customer spending. هدول examples of critical success factors and key performance indicators. critical success factors. هو creates high quality products, retains, as we said before يعني, retains competitive advantage, reduces product cost, increases customer satisfaction, hire and retain the best business professionals. Well, key performance indicators: number of new customers, average customer spending, number of product returns, percentage of help desk calls answered in the first minute, turnover rates of the employee. عندكم efficiency and effectiveness MIS matrix. efficiency هي الجدارة والeffectiveness هي الفعالية. efficiency time taken to process a task, amount of work done in. عندكم efficiency and effectiveness. Efficiency MIS matrix measures the performance of MIS itself, such as throughput, transaction speed, and system availability. Efficiency هي الجدارة يعني time taken to process a task, system is available for course and for use يعني. Effectiveness MIS matrix measures the impact of MIS has on business processes and activities, including customer satisfaction and customer conversation rates. Effectiveness هي الفعالية، هي quality of work و revenue per employee و customer satisfaction, as we said before. Benchmark. Benchmark is the baseline value the system seeks to attain. Benchmarking is the process of continuously measuring system results, comparing those results to optimal system performance, benchmark values, and identify steps and procedures to improve system performance. Model. Model هي simplified representation of or abstraction of reality. Models helps managers to calculate risks, understand uncertainty, change variables, manipulate time to make decisions, helps managers to make decisions better and more clearly. And the types of decision making. MIS systems. And the transactional processing system here for operational structured decisions, and the decision support system for managerial semi-structured decisions, or executive information systems for strategic unstructured decisions. Transactional information here encompasses all of the information contained within a single business process or unit of work, and its primary purpose to support the performing of daily operational or structured decisions. في عنا transaction processing system, basic unit system that serves the operational level and assists in making structured decisions. Online transactional processing هي OLTP, capturing of transaction and event information using technology to process, store, and update. عنا source document هي original transaction record، يعني هي source document بتكون input. هاي system thinking view of a TPS, Transactional Processing System. أول إشي بتحطي input هي source document. As we said before, source document بتكون original transactional record. بعدين throughout the process we calculate, we summarize, we crude, depends on what we need in the process and what we need from the input to produce the output. بعدين finally output بيكون reports. It's either dynamic or static depending on the input. و throughout each step نعطي feedback لكل TPS process. Managerial support systems. عنا analytical information هي encompasses all of the organizational information, and its primary purpose is to support the performing of managerial analysis or semi-structured decisions. عنا OLAP, Online Analytical Processing, manipulation of information to create business intelligence in support of strategic decision making. بس هذا كل الحكي online. Decision Support Systems, DSS, model information to support managers and business professionals during the decision making process. هلا بدنا نحكي عن system thinking view of a DSS. الانبوت هنا مش source document، الانبوت هي ال TPS، يعني الاوتبوت تاع ال TPS بيكون الانبوت تاع ال DSS، ال DSS تاعت المانجيريال وال TPS تاعت ال operational. البروسيس تاعها بيكون what if analysis, sensitivity, goal seeking, optimization or examples، والاوتبوت بيكون report, simulation, forecast. و obviously in each step بيكون عندكم feedback لكل إشي. هلا هاي it shows interaction between a TPS operational و DSS managerial. ال transactional processing system تاخد هدول source documents مثل ال order entry, inventory data, shipping data بتحولهم ل systems مثل ordering processing system, inventory tracking system, distribution systems. بعدين هدول السيستمز ال DSS هي المانجيريال بتاخد هدول السيستم بتحولهم لداتا مثل sales data, manufacturing data, transportation data، وكل هذا بدخل جوا ال DSS وبيتحول بعدين لمانجيريال ريبورت اللي بتقدر المانجر تستخدمه عشان تعرف تاخد قرارات صح. هلا عنا EIS هي ال Structural Decisions Executive Information System. هي specialized DSS that supports senior level executive and unstructured long-term non-routine decisions require judgment, evaluation and insight. عندكم granularity هي التفاصيل تاعت البيانات refers to the level of detail in the model for or at the decision-making process. Visualization produces graphical displays of patterns and complex relationships in large amount of data. يعني مثلا infographics as an example. Infographic هي information graphic. Information represented in a graphical format to make the data easily and understandable at a glance. في عنا هلا ways to display data. First way هي ال pie chart. هي a circle divided into sectors who each represents a proportion of the whole. عنا bar chart represents group data with rectangular bars with lengths proportional to the value that they represent. وعنا histogram هي تشبه ال bar chart بس الفرق بينه إنه ال histogram لل continuous data bar chart لل non-continuous data. ال histogram ما فيها فراغات بين كل bar unlike the bar chart فيها فراغات. فال histogram is called a graphical display of data using bars of different heights. It's similar to a bar chart but a histogram groups numbers into ranges. عندكم spark line embedded line that illustrates single trend. ما عندهم y-axis or x-axis ولا labels. Context comes from the related content. Infographic حكينا عنه. و time series chart هي نفس يعني it's similar to a spark line بس في y-axis و x-axis و representation showing change of variable over time. Time series charts are used for data that changes continuously, such as stock prices. Allow clear visual representations of change in one variable over a set amount of time. عندكم هلا pivot rotates data to display alternatives presentation of the data. يعني مثلا هاي ال pivot table you could create it in Excel. يعني بيكون عندك انت spreadsheet in Excel وانت حابب تغير كيف شكل التيبل. مثلا بدك تخلي هذا الكولوم into row او العكس او الرو into column. you wanna represent السم لكل هدول each مثلا each month او هيك اشياء. هذا كله بيقدر يتغير بالspreadsheet and it's called a pivot table. هاي example infographics. وهلا بدنا نحكي عن interaction between a TPS and a EIS. ال TPS as you could see هي source document بتحول ل order processing system أو inventory system و distribution system. بس هلا الفرق بين ال EIS وال DSS إنه ال EIS تاخد كمان external source of informations يعني industry information, stock market information unlike the DSS. هاي عشان تقدر ال strategic planning أو strategic level يكون detailed ونقدر ناخد معلومات كويسة. Executive Information System بتحول كل هدول into data. ال EIS تقدر then to absorb it and produce executive reports. فعندكم ال Digital Dashboards هي لوحة القيادة الرقمية tracks KPIs و CSF by compiling information from multiple sources and tailoring it to meet the user needs. ال Digital Dashboards عندها slice and dice, drill down و consolidation capabilities. هلأ بدنا نحكي عن ال artificial intelligence هي الذكاء الاصطناعي simulates human intelligence such as the ability to reason and learn. Expert systems هي computerized advisory programs that imitate the reasoning processes of experts in solving difficult problems. مثلا expert systems بيقدر يستخدمها الدكتور بدل ما هو يضله يشخص المريض بيقدر يستخدم هاي الexpert systems، بيحط الداتا into it، مثلا answering the questions تاعون الexpert systems، والexpert system بيعطيه إيش حال المريض وإيش بيحتاج من كل هذا الحكي. في مثلا الautomation AI is building robots that can operate similar to humans. و complex analytics هلأ مع ال massive amounts of data available humans need help analyzing to find patterns. صعب هلأ ال humans بس لحالهم to analyze data ومن هالحكي AI comes in hand. في كمان fraud detection. Credit card companies use AI to determine if the purchases was made by the customer or by analyzing and identifying unfamiliar spending patterns. وفي كمان عنا ال resource scheduling. From hospitals to airports, AI can schedule the use of resources to maximize efficiency. في هلا ال algorithms. Algorithms, mathematical formulas placed in software that perform an analysis on a data set. في genetic algorithm. هي artificial intelligence system that mimics the evolutionary survival of the fittest process to generate increasingly better solutions to a problem. في هلا الميوتيشن. الميوتيشن هي process within a genetic algorithm randomly trying combinations and evaluating the success or failures of the outcome. Machine learning هي type of AI that enables computers to both understand concepts in the environment and also learn. Supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning, and transfer machine learning. هدول 3 types of machine learning. في هلا ال data augmentation. هي occurs when adding additional training examples by transforming existing examples. في عنا هلا overfitting و underfitting. Overfitting occurs when machine learning model matches the training data so closely that the model fails to make correct predictions on new data. Underfitting occurs when a machine learning model has poor predictive abilities because it did not learn the complexity in the training data. Underfitting يعني ما عندها enough information أو ما عندها enough abilities إنه هي to predict the data. Overfitting العكس. Overfitting إنه هي the training data so closely that the model fails to make correct predictions on the new data. Okay, now we're gonna talk about biases. A bias is a personal and often unreasoned judgment for or against something. يعني disproportionate weight in favor of or against an idea or thing, usually in a close-minded way or unfair way, prejudicial way كمان. في عندك affinity, conformity, confirmation and name bias. Affinity bias هي tendency to connect with, hire and promote those with similar interests, experiences or backgrounds. يعني أي حدا نفس ال backgrounds تاعك similar interests انتو يعني group together. في عندكم conformity bias. Doesn't matter what you think, doesn't matter your own view, بس انتي خلص you act similarly or conforming to those around you. وفي كمان confirmation bias. Actively looking for evidence that backs up your ideas about someone. وفي name bias. Name bias هي ال tendency to prefer certain types of name. يعني ال name bias example مثلا your name will affect your hiring position. إذا اسمك مو حلو أو إذا اسمك يعني considered a terrorist name or something, ساعتها you wouldn't be accepted or hired. There are 4 types of bias in machine learning, include sample, prejudice, measurement, or variance bias. Sample هي a problem with using incorrect training data to train the machine. Prejudice هي results of training data that is influenced by cultural or other stereotypes. Measurement bias occurs when there is a problem with the data collected that skews the data in one direction. Variance mathematical property of an algorithm. Variance إله دخل بالmathematical, prejudice إله دخل بالcultural, sample إله دخل بالincorrect training data, وmeasurements إله دخل ب there is a problem with data collected that skews the data in one direction. في هلا neural networks. What is a neural network? It attempts to emulate the way the human brain works. Fuzzy logic هي mathematical method of handling imprecise or subjective information. في عندكم deep learning or reinforcement learning. Deep learning هي process that employs specialized algorithms to model and study complex data sets. This method is also used to establish relationships among data and data sets. Reinforcement, on the other hand, training of machine learning models to make a sequence of decisions. VR, virtual reality. هي a computer simulated environment that can be a simulation of the real world or an imaginary world. هلأ في شيء اسمه haptic interface. Haptic interface بتخلي humans to interact with computer through bodily sensations and movements, مثل cell phone vibrating in your pocket. Haptic interface primarily implemented and applied in virtual reality environments or used in virtual workplaces to enable employees مثلا to shake hands, demonstrate products, or collaborate on projects. Virtual workplace هي work environment that is not relocated in the physical world. Augmented reality هي viewing of the physical world within computer-generated layers of information added to it. Google Glasses is an example of how you could view the augmented reality. هي Google Glasses wearable computer with an optical head-mounted display. اسمه هاي optical head-mounted display short for OHMD. هلأ خلصنا 2.1. We're going to 2.2 section, business process. Your learning outcomes are gonna be explain the value of business processes for a company and differentiate between customer-facing and business-facing processes. Secondly, demonstrate the value of business process modeling and compare as-is to and to-be models. Thirdly, differentiate among automation, streamlining, and re-engineering. في هلأ the order to delivery process. في عندكم 5 steps. Step 1, creating the campaign and checking inventory. هاي إلها دخل بالmarketing والsales department. Step 2, place the order, notify production وcheck the credit. هاي إلها دخل بالsales, operations وaccounting and finance department. Step 3 is manufacturing the goods. يعني إلها دخل بالsales, operations وaccounting and finance. Step 4 قبل الأخيرة delivers goods and bill the customers. إلها دخل بالaccounting, finance, operations management. Step 5 lastly support sales. هاي إلها دخل مثل customer service. في عنا هلأ business processes. عنا 2 business processes. Customer و business facing process. Customer facing process هي external يعني results in a product or service that is received by an organization's external customer. هاي برا organization يعني. Business facing process invisible to the external customer but is essential to the effective management of the business. يعني هاي بتصير within the business الكاستمر ما بقدر يشوفها. في عنا إشي اسمه business process patent. هي patent that protects a specific set of procedures for conducting a particular business activity. عنا core dynamic or static process. Core process هي business processes such as manufacturing goods, selling products, providing services. هي makes up the primary activities in a value chain. Dynamic process continuously changing دائما تتغير provides business solutions to ever-changing business operations. A static process uses a systematic approach in an attempt to improve a business effectiveness and efficiency continuously. Hello, we're going to talk about business process model and notation, short for BPMN, graphical notation that depicts the steps in a business process. فعندكم event, activity, gateway, flow. هلا الevent هي circular. It's anything that happens during the course of a business process. وفي عندكم activity. Activity is any work that is being performed in a process. Gateway, used to control the flow of a process. Gateways handle the forking, merging, and joining of paths within a process. Flow shows the flow of data, displays the path in which the process flows. وهدول الساينس تاعونهم. في عندكم business process modeling or mapping. هي activity of creating a detailed flowchart or process map of a work process showing its inputs, tasks, and activities in a structured sequence. في عندكم business process model. هي graphical depiction of processes showing the sequence of process tasks which is developed for a specific situation. في عندكم as is وفي عندكم to be process. As is process he represents the current state of the operation that has been mapped without any specific improvements or changes to existing processes. يعني هي هاي الموجودة. To be process he shows the results of applying change improvement opportunities to the current as is process model. يعني هي شوية تعديلات بتصير على ال as is process model. هاي في example. On the left side في عندكم ال as is process order process. مثلا أول إشي ال customer approaches the cashier. بعدين order the burger. بتروح على they ask you if you want fries or لا. If the answer is no بتكملي لتحت. If the answer is yes بتروح على اليمين and order fries is pressed. بس تخلصي من yes أو no بتروحي على want drink. إذا the customer wants a drink تروح على yes and then you'll order a drink. If he doesn't want a drink then it's no. بشكل عام it all leads to customer pays cashier. However to be business process هي أول إشي customer approaches the cashier orders a combo meal. يعني بدل ما يقعد يسأل كل هاي الأسئلة بيختار الميل وهي الميل هاي بيكون فيها already fries أو drink. بيكون كل هدول الديتيلز بهاي الميل. مش لازم يضل يسأل الكاستمر بس يخلص على طول pays the cashier. في عندكم إشي اسمه workflow includes the tasks, activities and responsibilities required to execute each steps in a business. وفي هلا digitization هي العملية الرقمية عملية الرقمنة. Digitization, the automation of existing manual and paper-based processes and workflow to a digital format. يعني بيحولوا ال paper-based process ل digital format. اسمه digitization. هل operational business processes الautomation operational business process هي static routine daily business processes such as stocking inventory, checking out customers or daily opening and closing processes. هاي حكينا عنها من قبل. في عندكم business process improvement attempts to understand and measure the current process and makes the performance improvements accordingly. Business process improvement من الاسم improvement you improve the current process. Automation process of computerizing manual tasks making them more efficient and effective and dramatically lowering operational cost. Automation بتحولوا أي إشي مثلا paper based أو هيك إشي لا يكون computerized. في هلا robotic process automation use of software with AI and machine learning capabilities to handle high volume repeatable tasks that previously required a human to perform. Autonomous robotics هي robot capable of making its own decisions and performing on action accordingly. Machine vision ability of a computer to see by digitizing an image, processing the data it contains and taking some kind of action. في machine vision sensitivity ability of a machine to see in dim light or to detect weak impulses at an invisible wavelength. machine vision sensitivity مثلا تشوفه بالليل وتشوفه بأوقات صعب إنك تشوف فيها يعني. machine vision resolution extent to which a machine can differentiate between objects. In general, the better the resolution, the more confined the field of vision. Resolution يعني بتكون how sharp the image is. Managerial business process streamlining managerial business processes, semi-dynamic, semi-routine, monthly business processes such as resource allocation, sales strategy, or manufacturing process improvements. في عندكم streamlining. Streamlining improves business processes efficiencies by simplifying or eliminating unnecessary steps. Bottleneck occurs when resources reach full capacities and cannot handle any additional demands. The bottleneck causes lag and slowdowns. Redundancy occurs when a task or activity is unnecessarily repeated. Strategic business process, dynamic, non-routine, long-term business process such as financial planning, expansion strategies, stakeholder interaction. Business Process Reengineering, BPR, analysis and redesign of workflow within and between enterprises. هلا مثلا a company can improve the way it travels the road by moving from foot to horse, then from horse to car. However, the BPR looks at it in a different way. It looks at taking a different path completely, such as an airplane, which ignores the road completely. Robotic Process Automation, RPA, is the use of software with artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities to handle high-volume repeatable tasks that previously required a human to perform. بالعربي، العمليات الروبوتية ال RPA هي استخدام البرامج ذات الذكاء الاصطناعي وقدرات التعلم الآلي للتعامل مع المهام الكبيرة الحجم والمتكررة التي كانت تتطلب في السابق من الإنسان القيام بها. Thank you, and that's the end of chapter 2.
لتكملة الكورس يرجى تحميل تطبيق NoNerds أو زيارة موقعنا الإلكتروني في الديسكريبشن.